These two special episodes on video games is all going to be about how video games are not just a source of plain entertainment or pure fun, but also how there is an educational aspect to it, how there are unforgettable experiences that you get from games.
Scars.
Where you get to live through other lives vicariously and you tend to increase your worldview or your overall knowledge. And then there's also a more personal development aspect to gaming, where you can use games as a way to improve yourself,
Enhance yourself
while having fun,
while having entertainment.
Hello, everybody. That's right. It's another Thursday, and that can only mean another ThyGap podcast episode. This is your host, Bogus and with me, as always, is my co-host,
Being Brut.
Wow. Such a melodious introduction, Brut. Welcome to the podcast once again.
Thank you, Bogus. You are welcoming me as if I left. I haven't left. In fact, I've been here and you're going and coming.
That's true. I'm actually coming to your place.
Absolutely. Stop revealing how our setup is. Okay, stop doing that.
Stop giving me that sandu.
Don't talk about gullies now. Okay, we are not here to discuss gullies. So let me return the favor, Bogus. Welcome to the all-new episode of ThyGap podcast, Bogus Noog.
Thanks, Brut. And this week we are actually back to one of our old ThyGap podcast tropes, which is a special episode. Or a special two-parter, rather, like we did for humor, part 1, part 2.
Yes, call back to our old episodes.
That's right. Measure of Man, part 1 and part 2.
Part 2, yes.
A Species with Amnesia, part 1 and part 2.
Absolutely.
My God, there's so much. In case you've not checked out our first season.
We don't do it often in our podcast.
Yeah, we don't.
Where we reveal or call back our old episodes.
Yeah.
So you better be following what we say.
Absolutely. And this two-parter episode is going to be all about video games.
Video games.
And why is it two parts? Because, I mean, we could have made one episode 2 hours long, but people seem to frown upon that kind of thing nowadays.
Yeah, the whole 1 hour, 30-minute concept was never bought by a lot of people, Bogus.
Yeah.
Which is why we went into that 1 hour, 25-minute timeline.
Yeah.
And that we saw a huge change.
We did see a change. And
we got back 5 minutes of our life.
Exactly.
That's a huge thing.
And down the line, when we get to Joe Rogan level, then, I'm going to be taking a revenge and coming out with 6-hour podcast.
6-hour podcast. But I also like how we use those 5 minutes by, smoking cigarettes.
Yep.
Which takes away 8 minutes of our overall life.
Yep.
So I think we are doing a good balance.
We are shaving off a lot of time.
Yeah. We are scraping it off.
Yeah. And so there's a lot that video games can offer to us. And for some weird reason, there's always this stigma around gaming, Brute, that, it makes people violent. It makes people lazy. Like they waste their time.
Yeah, I think the wasting time part is more obvious. Parents always like, what are you going to do playing video games?
Yeah. And I mean, there is some sense in that. If you're going overboard, like if you're just playing games for like 10, 12 hours a day, then obviously you need to cut that down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't take inspiration from ThyGap in long sessions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even we don't do 12-hour episodes.
Yeah. I mean, even if you study 10, 12 hours a day, that's bad for you. Anything
Not according to like a middle-class father.
I know. But it is actually
that's
bad
like
for
a
you.
Dream come true.
Like,
if my kid is studying for 10, 12 hours,
single tear will roll down his eye
like
in pride.
Khushi ke aansu.
Yeah.
But video games, man, lot to be spoken about. Having said that, I was actually thinking, what is the percentage in a gender distribution?
It has been more of a male-dominated medium for a long time.
Of entertainment.
But now things are changing. There are more girls coming in.
Following up to that, I want to put in a point, and I'm not being, biased or anything. There has been a lot of study about this whole video game aspect and what it does. And apparently, if you play just about enough amount of video games per day, your IQ increases and also your aptitude and your analytical skills. Which brings me to the point that now we know why women are not that smart. Controversial statement. Boom! I've dropped the bomb. You saw how I tied it up, Bogus? It was a piece of art.
It would have been better if you just set the thing and just left it.
No, I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't. I just couldn't stop myself.
No, I
It was
mean,
too good of an art. I had to show off.
yeah, that's where it gets stepped on a little bit.
Factually beating the point.
Yeah,
This is how you do it, guys.
like beating the horse, dead horse to, what do they say? Flogging a dead horse. But anyways,
Yeah.
coming back to video games, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Games as pure entertainment. What is that? What's the first image that comes to your mind when you say pure fun, pure entertainment?
Just fun Road Rash.
Okay. Yeah.
Road Rash was just fun.
Road Rash, for me, the first image that comes into my mind is obviously Super Mario. Because
Mario.
Yeah.
Mario was a little annoying for me.
Okay.
In Road Rash, even if you lose, you don't feel bad because you've kicked some guy like 10 times.
Yeah.
Mario for me was, I have to win. So there was undue pressure on myself.
Oh, really?
Have you played Road Rash?
Yeah, I've played Road Rash.
Have you not found it amazing when, even if you don't win, but you've kicked that one guy who tried kicking you a lot?
Yeah, but I also didn't feel good when I got kicked or, when I lost ultimately. So
Okay. So it's not fun for you that way.
No, it was fun.
That's what I'm saying.
But for you,
Road
it's
Rash
like,
is cool. I want Road Rash back.
you can go back to it.
I know, but I'm not finding it anywhere now.
It's by
I
an old
remember we used to
computer.
have that like CD where we used to burn
Yeah.
Road Rash on it and then put it in a system.
Yeah.
I mean, Road Rash was really fun.
But yeah, those old
Pure fun, like basically.
those old games like arcade style, which were like side scrollers, and that they were very high in fun quotient. Like
that way it was Contra.
Contra.
Contra was good.
I didn't play Contra that much. For me, it
Are
was
you
more
crazy?
Mario.
Contra was the first game that would come up on the cassette.
I know. I just skipped it because I wanted to get to Mario.
Unbelievable. Have you played Bomberman? Even Bomberman is fun. I think I like games where I blow up things.
Is that the one with the tank?
No. That's Tanker. Bomberman is like you have to bomb all the blockages, and there are some kind of weird bugs which are coming to catch you.
Okay.
So you can bomb those bugs also.
Oh, okay. So I mostly use the
So you went to like out of the 999 games.
Right.
You almost went till 700th game to play Mario.
So I played either Mario or the tank one.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun for me, or
Tanker.
the duck one.
The hunting duck.
Yeah,
Shooting duck.
you take the plastic gun and you shoot at the TV.
Yeah. No, for fun. I mean, if it's purely fun,
Yeah.
I also played that the biking thing.
Mm.
Does this like ring any bells to you?
Are you talking about?
The racing bike, which is like again the scrolling thing. So you have like those jumpings and all that.
Yeah,
the rally
side
racing kind
scroller.
of- yeah.
Okay.
So in that there is this game where you're a biker and then you just, there are different tracks. You just have to like keep riding, okay? And it's like those rally bikes. So you have those, what do you call?
Ramps or
and all.
slopes.
Yeah, ramps and all. So you can just keep jumping. There are mud tracks in the middle. and
Oh
all
yeah.
that.
I think I played that.
Yeah, so this is the sound the bike makes when you start. This chick is heat running back to the bike and starting the bike.
Oh
again.
yeah. Right.
That was fun too.
Yeah. And those days, these games used to be like almost so simple, right? Like there's
2D.
nothing. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
2D. There's nothing much to it, but it's just very high in fun quotient.
Yeah.
And
It was, they are the raw, potent, high fun games.
yeah, high fun and just extremely addicting.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think what are the games,
So many.
Oh, have you ever
games.
played
I played
the
Dave.
old Dave? Yeah,
Dave
is one.
was insane.
Prince of Persia. have
Prince
you
of
played?
Persia was great. DOS games.
Yeah.
Bad pixelated games.
Yeah.
Wolf 3D.
Oh yeah, Wolf.
Wolf 3D was one of
Wolfenstein,
the,
yeah.
it was crazy. I like the guy also with that like Terminator kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Square jaw.
Yeah.
And then he just stands like that.
Yeah.
There's so many, like there was
Blood
baseball.
2. I don't know if you played Blood 2. That's also a first-person shooter.
I play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat also was like 2D, a lot of kicking. That's how I ended up watching all these Shaolin movies after that, just to figure out, does this happen in real life? And apparently it does, according to those movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, there's a lot. You're making me nostalgic right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Don't
whole
make me
thing.
nostalgic.
The reason why we look back so fondly on those games, which were like 8-bit graphics,
Yeah.
is just because of the uncomplicated nature of these games
Yeah.
and just so much high in fun quotient. Nowadays, the games that we are playing, they also are fun, but they're not that high. Like there's more complicated stuff that comes into it.
Yeah. In a sense, like I think there is a dearth of, simple games.
Yeah, simple games. Yeah,
And it might also be because of the demand that people are creating now. See, accessibility is a huge thing, right?
yeah.
The problem is now a lot of these games are on your phone. So if you look at Candy Crush is basically fun.
Yeah.
But do you want to play Candy Crush? It's not that much of
I mean,
intelligent.
people get so seriously addicted to that.
A lot of housewives I've seen. My mom plays.
Even middle-aged guys.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not my friends. So don't know, don't care. But I don't like Candy Crush. Like in the sense, like I don't mind playing it 1 or 2 games here and there, but it almost is like Sudoku for me.
Yeah, I never got into mobile gaming at all, except for PUBG. There was nothing else that I could really get
If
into.
you are going down that road, I can give you a list.
I know, I'm going to come to that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a Indian-made game recently called Raji?
No, I remember you mentioning it. But
Oh,
I
dude.
really want to. Is it a mobile game?
No, it's actually a PC game.
Oh, shit.
And a console game as well. So Raji is one of the recent Indian-made games, okay? And it has the same simplicity of these old games. I mean, the artwork is extremely high quality and the graphics are really good. But basically, the mechanics are simple. Like you just move character from here, there.
Left, right, straight, jump and all.
That's about it. There's some villains who come and you have fighting actions.
Yeah.
So that way it's really good. But it is set in Rajasthan, where in the desert there's a mela going on, and Raji is a small girl, and she and her kid brother are basically selling some stuff to survive, in the mela. Oh no, Raji is actually a rope walker.
Okay.
And so she's entertaining crowds by walking on the rope. And some asuras come into the mela, they destroy everything, they kidnap her brother, and they take him away.
Okay.
And so now Raji takes it upon herself to find her brother and rescue him from these demons.
And Raji is this 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, 7-year-old, 9-year-old girl.
Yeah. I don't know how these girls are so brave.
I know, but it's just a video game. She's that brave because she gets a direct
The
blessing
developers
from...
decided that.
No, she gets a blessing from...
Durga?
Yeah, Kali.
Shakti. Yeah.
Basically. So it's a very, like
Indianized
traditional storyline.
Yeah.
Where all these gods and goddesses are, some at times, there is Vishnu narrating a portion of the game. Then there is Durga narrating a portion of the game. And then Raji is basically running through these old ruins. Indian,
getting more powers?
Here and there, getting
I'm
powers. Sure. And these ruins are also like, the way they designed these Indian ruins, right? It just makes you so nostalgic, dude.
How come this didn't get any fire?
It actually became more popular outside of India, as you would imagine, than within India. But
they should make it a mobile game. I think then it will become popular.
Yeah, but within India also, the hardcore gamers did notice it. So the more interesting story about this game is that despite the fact that it was made so well, the core developing team, they're from Pune. It's like 7 or 8 people. And the main developer, right? He was so cash strapped for funds that he actually mortgaged his own house, put it for collateral, just to make this movie. This game.
Video game.
This game.
Remember the episode's name, Bogus. It's video games.
The slip of tongue is more Freudian because the experience is so immersive.
It looks like a movie.
It's like you're part of a movie and you're following
the
storyline. Yeah. And, there's sections of the game where Raji is running through these old, castles and ruins. On the wall, there are paintings of Shiva and Vishnu and different avatars.
Yeah.
And those are interactive. Like if you press a button, you get a small description of the deity. So even for people who are not familiar, like Westerners, they get a window into
what are the different gods
Indian culture and what's that going on. So they did such a great job.
I should check it out.
And so he put up this house as collateral. He was pretty much at the lowest of levels. They did everything they could, and it just paid off because all their hard work. The game is selling well, I think, on Steam and other platforms where you can buy these games. And it got a lot of critical acclaim just because of its uniqueness, and because they stayed true to so much of Indian tradition and our way of our aesthetics also.
Right.
The game is full of Indian aesthetics. It's not just copy paste.
So what is Raji's powers like? Does she throw like curses?
So
or like she fights them off with some.
So at the very beginning, she gets like a spear from a Kali statue. So, and after that, from Vishnu, she gets another like a chakra. So she gets from each and every deity.
So there are weapons.
There are weapons.
Got it.
She gets a bow after some time. So as you keep upgrading her character, you get more and more weapons through which you can fight. And as you keep going as well, you have more and more enemies attacking you at the same time.
Obviously, that is like escalation.
Yeah, escalation of the game mechanics. But great job.
Interesting. Raji. Let's check it out.
And then coming to my next question, which I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Shoot. Bogus. Don't waste time.
Was there a game that you hated? And if you did, what was it and why?
Lot of games I hated. But the one that sticks to me, not because I played it a lot, but it was because everyone else was playing it, was Farmville. It's not like a game per se, but it was annoying to me because I was getting calls from my friends saying that, dude, go on to my farm, like pick up apricot or like pick up, I don't know, artichoke.
Why don't you
and
just,
all that.
Start off by explaining like the basic thing of Farmville? Like
Hey, you basically virtually grow a farm.
That's about it.
As simple as that. And it's just like you click how much you want to sow, what seed you want to sow on how many plots or whatever. And then once every seed has its own time to harvest.
Right.
I don't remember it clearly now, but if you don't attend to this farm, then the fruits will die. So your money is lost or some shit like that.
Right.
So people used to literally call me and say like, dude, go to my farm and harvest my artichokes. I'll just have another 15 minutes before they die. And it's like as like a Taken movie. Like, don't worry, bro. I'm going to find your farm. Like, I don't know where your farm is, but I'll find it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll like harvest all your artichokes.
Yeah, I have a special set of agricultural
skills. And also IT skills where I can click off a button.
Yeah.
I can get you like 20 kilos of cabbage.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
Was this like
that was getting annoying.
Was this like during work time or something like that?
No, we were in college, which was even more annoying.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're like, I mean, like, I'll give you the contrast of it, right? We just played like a 8-hour long cricket. Like we played cricket all day. We fought.
You're talking about real life.
Real life.
Yeah.
Like this is like we went to ground, we played cricket or we played football, whatever it is. And like full high adrenaline and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
And then I reach home and then like, dude, my internet is down. I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, what happened? And I'm like, dude, like harvest my farm. Which is so annoying. Like you just were so happy with how your day went. And then you're sitting and clicking on bloody like boxes of, harvesting artificial vegetable.
Now, what's like the worst case scenario? Like, let's say his crop is wasted.
Nothing. The worst case scenario is you will lose all your vegetables. That's it. And
virtual vegetables.
Yeah, having said, you'll not even go hungry because most of the time you're playing this game while eating.
Yeah.
So the only best part about Farmville, I think, I don't know, is you get to know what vegetables are called in English. Because dondakai, I don't know what is called in English.
Yeah.
But then you'll be like, oh, this is dondakai.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, so this is what they call in like UK. If they want to eat this, like some random mini bitter gourd or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. And you get to know a lot of berries or some shit like that. But apart from that, it's very annoying. It's just annoying because it's not even helping you, or it's not a game where you even at least know how agriculture or farming works.
Right. It's not. It doesn't go into like
it's not
as much
into
detail.
Exactly.
Like what soil are you going to use? Like, are you using red soil or black soil?
How much of nitrogen is needed in soil and all that, which you generally learn in school.
Right.
If that is not enough, you're playing this already in your early 20s, so it's even more annoying.
Right. So it's just a virtual piece of land.
That's it.
That you're tilling.
Yeah. And you ask your friends to donate seeds or That's another whole nonsense. Like you keep getting, at that time Facebook was a
I ran
huge
out
thing.
of these seeds. Can you send me some?
Yeah, like I've shared some sunflower seeds.
Oh my
Can
God.
you send back some after using whatever you want? I don't know. It's like you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of a thing. So Farmville, I hated it. I hated the faces that were there as characters.
Yeah.
I hated the whole, 9 yards of Farmville.
Can you imagine if Farmville was still a hot thing today? There probably would be a separate set of farmers' protests just for that game. For me, also the same. Like, I don't think there was ever a game that I started playing and I absolutely hated it. But I would say for me, it's most of these mobile games that I could just never get into, except for PUBG. Because coming from something like PC gaming to mobile gaming, right? Just the immersion was so much lesser because a
On
small
mobile
screen,
games?
small screen, and also because mobile games you can't really flesh them out so much because of the amount of space that they would need.
As long as games are simple calculus, I'll give you an analogy. As long as they're simple calculus, which is like 2 plus is 4, I'm fine. Like it's fun. It's pure fun for me because it's just like pressing 3 keys and you're going about it. The moment they become compound or compound chemistry, where the whole keyboard has like instructions. That's when I lose the whole interest. Like, you have to hold shift and then press X or Y along with control somewhere. Or right shift with something else. There's like whole list of commands. That's not gaming for me.
Okay.
That's when I'm like, I'd rather play it on a console.
Got it. But even console
it's
combinations
still,
get complex
but it's still
sometimes.
Rememberable number of combinations. It's not like 40 keys, right?
Well,
along with a mouse, which is even more annoying.
The flip side is because there are limited number of buttons on the console, the controller, you have to mash your fingers a lot more because the combos get so much. Like people end up actually breaking or using up their controllers after a while. They have to keep buying new ones. And they also get severe carpal tunnel because you have to keep mashing your fingers.
You get carpal tunnel even with your mouse.
No, you do. But this one is like bad case because you keep mashing them a lot to be able to make those combinations.
The point is like I was not that guy who would play for like 6-7 hours a day. I was always that guy who would rather go out and play. And secondly, I never got into playing alone, especially the console.
Right.
Like mobile phones now, like I play PUBG or COD or stick cricket or something like that because if I want to pass time for like 10-15 minutes, I play it off. But I never was the guy who would sit at a console and play alone in my room for like 2-3 hours stretch. So that never bothered me.
So just to set the context here for people listening,
I'm not a loner, Bogus.
Your video gaming is primarily been with mobile gaming.
And in recent past, yes. Not before. Before there was no mobile phones. Like smartphone gaming started like 8 years back, 6-7 years back.
Yeah, so obviously why would I talk about mobile gaming before they were even
now
invented?
Obviously. Now I don't have the time. I'm a very busy guy, Bogus.
You don't have to get defensive. I'm just setting a context here.
Yeah, I'm
the sense that
clarifying the context.
Yeah, in the sense that your video gaming has been more in mobile and also more online.
More on mobile.
Online mobile.
Predominantly
like
mobile.
Social kind of gaming.
Yeah, it's like...
And my style of gaming has been more... it's always been PC. And it's not been online gaming. Primarily, it's been solo player, campaign.
Because you're a loner, Bogus.
Yeah.
So it's a good contrast.
Yeah, so I was just setting the context here for those who are listening. So speaking of social gaming, and mobile online gaming, the whole experience, before it became such an easy, accessible thing on mobiles, there was a barrier of entry. I mean, you in the sense
don't complicate the conversation. What do you mean by barrier of entry?
In the sense that outside of your friends getting together and going to a LAN, this thing, so where you can play CS together. Otherwise, you had to have, not only all of you had to have systems at home, you also had to have high-speed internet to be able to get together like from home and play with your friends, right? What mobile gaming did is it made that more accessible. Like you could get together with your friends more easily. And so because you primarily play that. Talk to me about that experience of
Amazing. You should do
the
it once
social.
in a while.
No, I've done it once in a while. So I
You
kind
should
of
do it
know.
more often.
I
You should
would.
like dedicate, you know how people dedicate like 1 hour in a day to improve their speech or articulation and all. You
Yeah.
should like dedicate 1 hour in a day to like just play with strangers. Like go on to PUBG, play with strangers.
I
talk
tried,
with them.
I tried playing with strangers. I didn't like it. I
Yeah.
much rather prefer playing with people I know.
Yeah. I know. But it's fun. It's fun playing with strangers.
I don't think so because,
They're abusing you, you're abusing them.
I mean, I don't
It's
know.
a good ventilation. And both of you know that you're doing not because you hate each other, but you're there to do exactly that. So it's like an unsaid code that, oh, I'm frustrated with my day. So are you. I get it. You're just abuse in the air.
Oh,
You're just that unknown guy who I can abuse and I don't have to carry any burden about it.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's not for me.
You should. But social, I mean, like the whole social element of game, I think right now it's been diluted a lot. Also, it might be because of the age factor. I'm sure a lot of college going kids still do that.
Oh, yeah.
I know guys who still have those beer and FIFA nights or beer and
Right.
CS nights
Right.
where they all group up in one guy's apartment and all night they're just having beer and playing games or, playing FIFA or Counter-Strike or whatever. So that is still a thing. And that's a great thing to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things it allows you is that period of time, there is no boundary, right? There's no inhibitions. There is no, there's no branding. There's no tagging that, oh, you're an introvert, he's an extrovert or anything like that. It's just everybody is out bantering about each other. It's a healthy competitive spirit, right? Unless somebody gets really drunk and gets upset about something. I don't know how do I put it. It has a good vibe.
Right.
Doing those activities, right? And it builds stronger bonds because the guys who I used to play with, there was this dedicated group who we would catch up every second weekend or something like that. All we used to do was play game all through the night. And that's about it. There's no other element of socializing with that.
That was
guy.
the agenda, basically.
That was the whole agenda for the night.
Right.
And we are still great friends, though we don't know, like we got to the point where we started asking personal questions much, much later.
Right.
It was only about the game. And after like 2 years is when we're like, oh, you stayed this close to me? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
It was almost like that level. So you have that shield that I'm not going to be judged kind of a thing. But now it's become very aggressive.
I mean, there's also this aspect to it, right? Like if you compare a scenario where a bunch of friends are getting together regularly and let's say they're not gaming, but they're getting together to watch a movie or just chill out,
Yeah.
have a few drinks and
Pillow
spend time.
fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
all
know the
that.
whole,
Yeah.
like do the whole thing.
But in comparison to this, those activities seem to be like more passive, right? If you're just watching a movie, if you're just hanging out, whereas if you're gaming together,
Yeah.
like you're way more engaged.
Because you're collaborating.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the thing is you're collaborating, which is a huge plus. And you're not telling about yourself, you're showing yourself through the game. It's like playing sport.
Actions over words.
Yeah. So you get to absorb a lot more about the person than from rather than they saying it about themselves.
Let's go into that a little bit more in the gaming context. Like
Yeah.
you're playing with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
You regularly play with these guys and you're playing team sport in the game.
Yeah.
Let's say you're playing Call of Duty,
Yeah.
where it's a shooter. You have to apply certain kind of strategy or you have to work out how you manage your resources
Yeah.
so that you end up surviving and you help each other and you're the last one standing. Basically a battle royale
Right.
style of game, right?
Right.
So in that situation, when you say you get to know more about the people you're playing with,
Yeah.
how does this play out?
See, first and foremost, you are seeing two versions of that person, right?
Right.
The version who's standing right next to you, and the player who's playing along with you inside the game. So you get to see through the actions of that character as to how this guy is thinking beside you.
Right.
And because you're at the same place, you're also talking. And you're seeing his reactions to what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like a multi-dimensional conversations that are happening.
Yeah.
There's so many communications that's happening, right? You're able to see that, oh, this is how this person thinks in general. Like one of the things I hate is, it's a style of playing, but I am a guy, if you're playing something like a first-person shooter games, like, CS or Call of Duty or anything.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who just goes out and starts shooting. At the max, I'll die. Big deal. Like, I'll lose a life or whatever. You can respawn or whatever it is, right? So I just want to like go out and start all guns blazing. There will always be one or two guys who just don't come along.
Yeah.
They're the guy who's lagging back, who's just sitting and making sure that nobody is there who will shoot them.
Right.
And then they'll step out. And we are like, dude, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Now
or there is another guy.
Now, just to be clear, you're not describing a battle royale game. You're describing the multiplayer, right?
Multiplayer, yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, you see the similar behavior even in battle royale.
Yeah, you do. No, but I just wanted to
Multiplayer is
be
like-
specific. Like in your example, you're talking about multiplayer, right?
Multiplayer is, yes, this example is of multiplayer where if I have to respawn, I'm like, big deal.
Yeah.
Right? Battle royale, probably I'll still play the game. Like if I see a guy, I'll run behind him to shoot, or like I'll face him to shoot.
What if it's a team of 2 or 3? Would you still run alone in front of them?
That's what I mean. It's circumstantial, right? I mean, like you play if depends on who's my teammate again.
Okay.
Like if I'm playing with my friends, then I'd rather like hold back with the team and say like, okay, how do we go about?
Right.
Because we've played for a long time, so we almost know how we play.
Right.
Right. If I'm playing with strangers, where you patch up a team online, then I don't really care. Like I just play however I want. I just want to go to the next game.
Yeah.
If I die, I die. Big deal. But yeah, you get to know a lot because of these things. It's basically you're a puppet master, right? Any game you play, you're the puppet master for the character you're playing.
Yeah.
So whatever that guy performs in the game,
It's an extension of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and how you are going about it.
Yeah. The thing that stands out to me, right, with these team setups, battle royale, when you're playing with a bunch of friends or your team, I don't deliberately try to look out for these traits in people, but I can't help, and this is subjective to me, but I can't help but notice, especially if it's like a shooter game like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
if there's someone in my team who's like a coward,
Hider.
like how much courage, for me, courage, trust, loyalty, like
You sounded like some.
how brave is someone on my team, or how much of a bitch ass coward they are, that they are not brave enough to even take fights.
Grenade them.
And second, if you're down, right, and you need to get revived,
Yeah. You can't rely on
how
that
much
guy.
effort are they putting to actually come back and revive you?
Yeah.
And how selfish they are being.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how much are they willing to play with the team, or how
Save their ass.
selfish or
Yeah.
how,
That's an
self-absorbed
annoying
they
category. Yeah.
are,
You know how do you identify this category of gamers or the coward category of gamers? Whenever you're playing, figure out who is getting abused the most. Most often than not, there would be some guy in your team who needs revival and you don't know where he is, right? You're trying to figure out in the map where he is and all that. And then you'll see that if suppose A needs revival and you're C, B will be right beside him on the other side of the wall, just hiding, waiting for everybody to go.
Exactly.
And you're like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, are you kidding? And this guy will be roaming around there. Like, hey, Gandu, come revive me. Yeah, they're annoying.
Yeah, those guys are annoying.
Outright annoying.
I don't even mind, people who lack skills, but they end up getting into a lot of situations where they keep getting downed. But they are taking fights.
Make mistakes so that you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're taking fights, they're getting downed.
Yeah.
We'll keep reviving, it's fine. But as long as they're also loyal to the team, like they also come around and revive people, or they share their resources, because a lot of the team's resources keep going towards this guy who needs to get revived.
Like he's that ruthless guy. When his teammate dies, he's the first guy to go to that bag and pick up everything that guy has.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you want this stuff for? You're not even going to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I get your point. It almost makes you not want to play the game.
Yeah.
With him especially. Like,
yeah, especially
you
with
want
him.
to get out of the game.
And not just the game. There are some things that, the games reveal about these people. I might even go so far as to, I'm not going to trust this guy with money. Something like in real life.
Yeah, the granularity.
I'm not going to lend this guy money.
I'll not show him my girl.
I'll not show him my girl. There are these things
I won't invite him to my house.
Yeah. There are these things that come out for sure.
Yeah.
Especially I'm talking about like a game like Call of Duty Warzone. So Warzone is a battle royale game that you can play on PC or console. It's basically you get dropped into a whole a city and you have to figure out how to be the last one standing, your team. And there are other teams of 3 or 4. And there are strategies that you can use where high ground is more advantageous than low ground. So if you get on top of buildings, you have more advantage over someone who's on the ground floor. And you always finding your cover, like not running out into the open road, but always trying to be next to
Run along with the wall.
Have some cover so that if you get shot, you can immediately...
Basic defense. I don't have a problem with basic defense.
Right.
I have a problem with absolute defense.
Yeah.
You know the difference? Like, somebody's shooting at you, you go hide behind a car, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody is there in the whole radar. In that circle that you see. And you're still like waiting. Hiding in like the top floor's building room in a corner. And like peeking out of the window. Just to make sure.
Oh,
that's annoying. The other category I don't like is guys who take those vehicles and just keep roaming around.
Yeah.
I hate that. And like, why are we even playing this? We can rather play like Need for Speed or something.
Exactly. And not just peeping out of windows. Like these games, for people who don't know, they run at a length of like 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And there are guys who just, as soon as the game starts, they land, they go to one building, second floor, middle floor, something.
They'll go, and that too, the building will be the most corner building in the map. It's not even like it's a middle building or something.
Then they'll go to the second floor. Then they'll find the toilets or something like that. They'll go hide inside one of the toilet booths. And they will not step out.
And they'll not move also.
They will not move.
Yeah, they're just like...
Just waiting.
Staring at a wall.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like they have a view where they can see people coming.
And this is nothing but out of pure, abject fear of running out or engaging
life.
Engaging someone in gunplay. They're so scared.
The agenda of the game is not even at rest. The agenda of the game is to go shoot.
It's called Call of Duty Warzone. It's like...
It can't get more clear.
Yeah. It's not pranayam, vipassana or something. It's
not like shavasana.
Yeah, it's not shavasana.
Like go sleep.
And these guys are called campers, okay? So because they go camp. They just set up camp and they don't move.
This is like... I mean, a sniper camping makes sense.
Makes sense.
A guy with a pistol camping, absolutely, I just don't understand that.
Yeah. And... this is the part, right? I just can't see how people, can't realize that, hang on a second, why am I even playing a game like Call of Duty if I don't want to run out or if I don't want to find someone and then kill them?
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the game. Like, if you find that you're so fearful of even going out of the room...
What will you do in your life?
And taking engagements, can't you recognize like how much of a coward you are being, because it's not even real life engagement. We're not asking you to go wrestle someone in real life. It's like virtual. Even if you die, nothing's going to happen to you in real life.
Yeah. These kind of players are better off playing Farmville and asking their friends to like harvest their artichokes.
Exactly.
That's a much more productive game for them, where at least some result is coming out.
Yeah.
Right. But I always keep wondering, are they playing so that they make friends, with people? Because if that is their agenda, it's still not helping because they're not even interacting as a simulation.
Yeah, I've seen solo players also do this in Warzone.
Solo players, I get it. I get it. There's nobody to revive them, so they're playing too carefully. Fair enough. Okay. Team dynamics, I don't get it. No, it's like you don't trust anybody, I don't trust anybody types.
No, but even in solo, right? The whole point of the game is you have to kill at least someone. Like you have to find someone, you have to kill them. You have to be the last man standing.
I'll defend them in this way.
These people, they want to be the last man standing by just sitting inside one room and not moving.
See, solo players, why I find that to be fair enough is because they don't have a cushion, right? So if they want some of the heat to die down and then they'll start going out. Or whatever, because the game is like you have to the last man standing. But in a team dynamic, what happens is you damage everybody else's chance. True. You're not increasing your chance of winning, right? In a solo player, you're increasing your chance of winning by camping or whatever.
Actually, it may look like that, but it doesn't. Because when the solo game starts, it's in the beginning stage that you have more chances of killing someone. Because as the game progresses, right?
Right.
The guys who are good end up becoming survivors. Like they are the ones who are left.
Or all the campers survive.
No. when these guys have to be forced to get out, right, from their hiding spot because the circle is closing, ultimately the only good guys are survived or living outside. So as soon as they see them, these guys have no chance of, making it out.
They get at least in the top 3. I think that's the goal.
No.
Their goal is like to get into the top 3. See, camping in a shooting game in any format is illogical. Yeah. Let's be honest. But I'm saying even in the irrational, I find the rational in a solo mode.
No, it's not that. I mean, hide and seek, stealth movement, I can understand that. There is no movement here. It's just sitting.
I get that. But I'm more annoyed with guys who do that in a team dynamic.
No, of course. That also is there.
This guy keeps staying back, the map closes, somebody has to go bring him like in a car or something, revive him, give him some fucking bandages.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like Saving Private Ryan, right? Yeah. Like you keep going back to save this guy all the time.
I just keep thinking like if that is such a big problem for you, if you're not able to get out of one room and go out to actually find people and kill them, when you're playing a game called Call of Duty Warzone, it should give you some pause and it should tell you that...
How will you propose a girl?
No, it's like, oh shit. I mean, that also. Because it takes some guts to do that as well. Like,
oh shit. Hair.
Like, how much of a coward am I that even in a virtual game, I'm so scared to take up a conflict? Like I'm so conflict avoidant that I need to do something about this. Otherwise, like you said, right, it's an extension of you.
Yeah.
You're controlling a puppet. Yeah. But whatever the puppet is doing is just an extension of you.
Yeah.
So if you're so afraid of conflict in a video game where there's no consequences basically, then in real life you must be completely paralyzed, when you come across such conflict situations. So then you actually should use these games to help you out of that. And the way you do this is you
get out of the camping zone.
Get out of camping and you go the other extreme, because anyways, if you die in the game, nothing's happening to you. So in these games, just in case anyone doesn't know, you have a sniper option where you can shoot from a very far distance. You have assault rifles where it is slightly more close quarters combat. Then you have knives and you have these sticks, which is like extremely close. Like you have to really get up and close with these people.
It's almost like hand-to-hand combat.
It's like hand-to-hand combat.
Or stop playing these games. Play a game where you are forced to, like, play Mortal Kombat. Where you are forced to, you can't hide in Mortal Kombat. You have to fucking like keep kicking.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat, doesn't really scare you in the same way that a Call of Duty.
Play a game which is gory and like Mortal Kombat. Or play Ninja. Fruit Ninja. Have you played Fruit Ninja?
Yeah, I mean, I know about it, but...
Yeah, play that.
No, don't play that. My point is, if you find that you have such a big problem with something like conflict or getting into a fight, that you're not able to handle the virtual fight itself, then you should at least use that to try and make some progress, in real life, where you use the game. You don't even go to assault rifles, which is like mid-range conflict. You directly go to knife. You go to extreme close quarters combat.
It's impossible for them to play the game like that. See, if they're not good enough with shooting.
No, I'm saying it's not that they're not good enough with shooting. They're not good enough with balls, basically.
Yeah, so why go like too extreme? Then they'll stop liking you're killing the fun of the game.
No. See, they're already not having fun because they're sitting inside a room for the whole game.
We don't know that. The point is, we are not having fun, they're playing like that because they're killing our chances. But they might be...
No, you're still thinking about a team situation. I'm talking about even in solo. A lot of people do this.
So I think that's their fun. Because...
No, dude.
The reason why I say that is, what is the fun according to an introvert? Getting house arrested. Okay? Like, being alone at home is the most fun he can have. Because he doesn't have to do social interactions. Say some guy is like that, who's playing. His form of fun in like Call of Duty Warzone is like just being safe. Getting the feeling that I am secure alone at my home. My character is also secure alone in his home.
Yeah.
Staring at a wall. That might be fun. So I don't think,
my point is...
my simple suggestion is like, just play the game for what it is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Don't go don't go all radical about it. Or
No. My point is, if there is the whole point of games, the whole point of this simulated reality is that you take more chances, is that you push the envelope, is that you sometimes go out
press
of your
the button, Max.
Sometimes you go out of your comfort zone, like if you identify that because the character is just an extension of yourself, and you identify that there is a problem and you can relate that with your real life, then you can also use the virtual game to improve yourself in real life. Like if you actually pushed yourself to go to extreme close quarters combat, in my example, yeah, you might die within 2 minutes, within 5 minutes, every single time for like hundreds of games. But eventually you will overcome that extreme crippling fear that you had of, coming face to face with someone or of taking a fight with someone. And once you cross that barrier inside of a virtual game, then I can give it to you in writing. In real life, you'll be way more confident and you'll be way more self-assured in handling conflict situations in your real life.
I find that a little hard to believe. And I have like a hypothesis to it also as to
That's
why
because you're a dumbass. Listen to me, people. Whoever is listening to this is how you can use games to be a vehicle for your own personal development. It's very tough to teach someone to change certain things about themselves. Like in real life, if you had to make a timid guy more macho or more rough around the edges or more, basically more masculine, the best case scenario for you is to enroll him in something like martial arts training or put him in a military boot camp or something where they make you go through those hard things, because only the hard experiences will toughen you up. There's no soft experience that will toughen you up. That it doesn't work that way. So because that's not so practical in real life, you can use this virtual model to actually give you that benefit.
Yeah, okay. Guys, stop listening to Bogus. You might get into trouble if you follow him. The simple thing I would suggest is learn the game. Just play the game for what it is. Baby steps, take the gun, go out. It's the wrong advice, I think. Like that, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. But in the game, okay, not in real life.
In the game.
Like in the game.
Yeah.
Take the gun and go out. Don't go all Rambo, like in Call of Duty with a knife and like close combat and all. Just first get to know how to use your gun. Because that's fine. That's enough. That's baby step enough. The confidence. See, the point is, okay, we are going all philosophical. But the point is, if
it's ThyGap.
Yeah, obviously. Subscribe.
Yeah,
okay.
and share.
ThyGap, subscribe. So you need to understand the art of learning or breaking the barrier, for example. Right? You just do the convention. That is enough. That's my theory. I think the best way to do it is just play the convention. If the game rules are go out and play, in the process you die, then just do that. What I'm trying to say is, like the connection, you need to disconnect from yourself, your thinking,
okay,
and start playing from the thinking of the character that you're playing in the game. So you go into Call of Duty, for example, if the game says all the characters that are there in the game are supposed to go out and shoot and kill people, and the last one standing is the winner.
Yeah.
Just do that. Don't like become you and say like, oh no, this character will hide in a room, stare at a wall till everybody dies and then he'll come out like a hero. Don't do that, is what I'm saying.
So you're talking about pretend.
Yeah.
Like if this game is about people like action heroes, Rambos, who are supposed to go out, engage in combat, they're supposed to shoot each other, etc. That's what you do. You pretend. You think you are that guy.
Yeah.
And
you do the role play.
How would I act if I was that guy?
See, because if I get a gun in real life today, me as a person would not go out shooting people, right? Like there is a certain, in the realistic world, it becomes much more complex.
Yeah.
The game is simplified for you. Make it simple. Because the more you start following simple instructions, right? You simplify your thought process out externally also. That's my correlation.
But this is the problem of what they call hyper reality, where people nowadays, with technology increasing more and more, improving more and more, and the level of immersion in these games increasing more and more, I think it is making it tougher and tougher for people to distinguish or break that connection between what is real and what is not real, what is virtual. Because especially in a game like Warzone, if you're using it with headsets, and when you are running around in the city looks, it doesn't look like a city that we know of because we're playing it in India.
It's already a ruined city or deserted.
No, it's like a normal town or a city.
Yeah.
But imagine if the majority of the people play it in the West. Now for them, it's all familiar.
Yeah.
So they've increased the level of immersion. It's not like you're playing in space or something.
Right.
So you're playing in a city. The buildings look like the buildings outside your house. Everything looks similar. There are cars. You can jump around and move around like how it is in real life. And when someone shoots you and when you get shot as well, right? In your headphones, because of the level of immersion they've increased with audio, it kind of feels real because you feel the thud when someone, like melees you.
Yeah.
Or when someone knifes you, you feel that and you have blood splatter and all that. And if you're playing in console, your controller vibrates every time you get shot or something like that. Right. So you have all this feedback. That makes it more and more immersive for people. But at the same time, it is making it harder for them to break that connection that you were talking about. Like they're getting lost in the...
Which is why simplify. The simple thing, it's a game.
Yeah.
Treat it like a game.
Exactly.
Once you start treating it like a game, then you'll treat the character in the game as a character in the game.
Exactly. That's why...
And then you will be able to which is why I was saying the more you simplify, right, the clearer it gets. And that will become a habit. It's a thought process habit.
Exactly. That's why I get frustrated when I see...
yourself?
Not myself. When I see, for example, there's a guy who was a coward in real life. He knows he's
more coward like in virtual life.
Exactly. He knows he's a coward and he hates that about himself. Okay, this is the guy. When he plays the game, he's the same coward in the game as well.
Yeah.
And I get so irritated by that because I'm like,
the whole point.
If you have recognized that in real life you're a coward, and if you bitch about it, and you hate that about yourself, wouldn't you use this opportunity to just go berserk, like go the opposite?
Yeah.
Because it's virtual, there's no consequences. Wouldn't you take that opportunity to not be a coward? Be brave in the game because it's all make believe anyways.
Yeah.
But it's not the case.
Which is another complaint that I have with gaming companies or developers is don't make it too realistic. I'm serious.
That there is an argument to that. Yes.
No, I'm very serious about it. I don't want it to be too realistic for me. Don't throw flames at my face where I start feeling maybe my skin burnt. Don't make it that realistic. Keep it, because I lose the fun element. The more realistic it gets, right, the lesser the fun quotient is.
Yeah.
So I like a little of pixelation here and there. I like a little jerk of the character running. I like that robotic running. I don't want too much of a smooth running where, you play cricket now. It's like Brett Lee is actually bowling like Brett Lee. No, just give one damn action for everybody. It's about hitting the ball. It's a bat and a ball game. Keep it simple.
It's like when Tomb Raider first came out, the game with Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Her tits were pretty much like pyramids.
Yeah, it's just
sharp,
triangle.
Pointy triangles.
Yeah.
So you could still maintain some
you don't
separation.
Don't get horny about her.
Now they fucking jiggle, dude. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. You're not having fun of the game.
For a 13-year-old to 14-year-old boy, that's a huge problem.
Keep running to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You need to make the game sticky. Okay.
So there is an argument to be made against immersion, but then again, you have to say that as technology improves, it's only natural. It's not something you can stop.
I'll tell you why it should be, okay? There are ways you can do it better. For example, I don't know what category they're called. When you play Hitman, okay? The storyboard that comes in the middle of each quest, right? It's super realistic, right? There's a guy who comes like, what nonsense is happening? Where is Hitman? Why haven't they caught him? Blah, blah, blah. And then the game starts, you can differentiate.
Yeah.
There's a clear differentiation that, the quest began. Now you don't see that differentiation. You're still waiting for the dialogue to come and you're like, did the game start? No, what happened? That is what I'm talking about. There's not fun. This undue pressure that is being built, saying that, I'm putting a hole in that guy's head. It's too realistic. I can't do that. Like zombie games. I like zombie games.
Mm.
They're fun. They look dumb.
Yeah.
Like you're not scared of the zombie. Imagine the zombie becomes too like realistic.
Yeah.
Then you're like, dude, no, I don't want to play this in the night.
You get scared. Like
Yeah.
there are horror games that people find hard to play
Yeah.
because they're so scary.
Too scary.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
That's my complaint with video games.
But then they shouldn't
Developers.
play those games, because I personally enjoy when a good horror game, because they have to work so hard to make it that
Make a
immersive.
horror movie. Stop making games.
Now games are way more.
No, the reason is, again, my simple approach is I play games. Why? I want to have fun. Not worrying about your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And if I'm sitting and like getting scared, or like if I'm like, oh shit, this is too realistic. Oh shit, I might lose my life. Oh, I don't mind that, what do you call, that roller coaster jerk where you feel like that, butterflies in your stomach. Oh
Right.
shit, I didn't expect to die, but I died. Right? That I don't mind. But imagine the just prolonged feeling of that. I start hating the game. And this is subjective again.
Yeah. I get
Right.
it. Yeah.
So that's another beef I have with game developers nowadays. Don't make it too realistic.
Mm. There are definitely games they make even today, even these days, that are not realistic at all, like deliberately.
Yeah. Stick cricket is that. I love stick cricket. Stick games, basically.
Right. And that's the whole thing. That's why we began speaking about games as pure entertainment or fun, which also have their own value, because the fun quotient in those games are very high.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely nothing.
You're talking
but
about the old
fun.
games?
The old games,
Yeah.
or even the new games which they make in the old style,
Yeah.
where they're not bothering about immersion as much,
Yeah.
but it's just fun.
Yeah.
So those games have their own place and their own value, and they have something great to offer, gamers. Whereas the social games, the online games as well, have their own separate value to offer to gamers. And there's a lot more that video games offers in different ways to different people. And this is what we will actually be continuing in our
Next episode.
next episode, which would be part 2 on video games. We'll take a look at how games offer up, experiences, or how sometimes it can get educational, philosophical, maybe a little bit spiritual sometimes. We hope you will come around to check out the second part as well.
You will, because this is the second part of the season.
Oh yeah, this is the first two-parter for this second season. That's true. With that said, we will conclude this part 1 over here. At the end of the episode, you'll also have some of our social handles where you can follow us, and our email where you can write to us. Let us know what games you liked, you enjoyed, or what games, what you took away from certain games. It'd be great to hear that from you as well. As always, at the end of every episode, like we say, ThyGap, subscribe,
And share.
and share. Hey, thanks for listening. You can follow this podcast on Spotify to get notified of new episodes every Thursday. We're also on Apple Podcasts for those of you who have partaken in the forbidden fruit. If you liked what you heard, leave us a 5-star rating and a comment. Say anything like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. A rating and a comment really helps us out. It's free, and I'm told that's a great price. But enough about us, huh? Tell us about yourself. Leave us a comment. Our Twitter is @ThyGap, and we are _ThyGap on Instagram.